Hello once again, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another setup, clean up, straighten up episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing show. I'm your host Darth Tuba, and today I am kind of doing a hodgepodge of things I'm going to try to do. It might take me a little bit of time, but some of them I'm not going to do on camera, but I just wanted to, talk about a few things that I've been doing. As you know, if anybody's been watching the channel, or if you're not, go back and check on some of the old episodes. I'm in the process. I've been in an ongoing process of cleaning out the collection. Basically trimming it back, getting it down to something a little bit more. Well, essentially, what I'm aiming to do is try to get it to fit in a single room. That's what I'm looking to do, because eventually we plan on moving, and where we move to, we'll probably end up with something like a 3-bedroom, where one of those bedrooms will be my Star Wars collection. So obviously this collection, if it goes in there, it's all here, it's in that room, it's all through here, okay? There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. Or rather, it's impossible to put here's a room right now. I mean, it would be like this, but I have basically 4 times this. So, and I'm not bragging, guys. I mean, this is like a lifetime of collecting a little bit here, a little bit there, and, never throwing anything away. So it's time for me to start, making some choices and deciding what really matters to me that I want to keep, and what things I would like to part with. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that, this is not something that's going to get done in 1 year or even several years. This is something that's going to happen, over the course of time. And I look forward to kind of slowly I don't want to lose it all in one shot. I just want to kind of work on a little bit at a time, and I'm trying to feature it on here. I'm hoping to be able to share it out to some Facebook groups, some Star Wars collecting Facebook groups. The rules are a little vague in this. I mean, they say they don't want any promotions or sales. So, I mean, which makes no sense to me. Like I can do a sale, I can sell an individual item, but that seems to kind of, I don't want to just do, like, I don't have the time to, to work back and forth with people on a one-on-one level, like, all the time. So it's my hope instead to maybe just do like my Star Wars sale big time once a year, maybe set up a table at a flea market or a yard or at a toy show every so often, and kind of slowly bring it down that way. So first off, we've got, some of our collectible and tchotchke type of items here. And I've shown this already in previous episodes, but I've kind of starting to figure out how to get them out of this space and into my garage. So that's like one important thing. Then we do have a couple of things that I've decided to put on eBay, and I put 6 items up based on other collectors' successful sales. I priced a little lower than that, and they all sold. So just waiting for that to get followed through. And then, and if I'll come back to that in a minute, you go over here, and you can see there's still all these boxes and these items. I need to find some bags that I can put these guys in so that they kind of stay together, and all these boxes. And as I've showed behind these doors, you can see stacks of more boxes. All right, all this stuff up to the shelf is going out. So excited about it, because it gives me room to breathe and maybe take the collection like I did on previous episodes, and I'll have additional episodes on this soon. But as you can see here, we have I'm very much more proud of this display, except for the lighting. I'm going to try to figure out a way to do some lighting, which I'll come back to. And, up here maybe too, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start to take away a little bit and use the space. I got a nice empty shelf here that can have some things, and try to consolidate a little bit. Of course, in the middle of consolidating, I also have some new shelves, which, yes, I want to put these together and cut them up into smaller height shelves at the top, so we can put bigger items on the bottom and smaller on the top, similar to what we did here, only with all the same shelf instead of 2 different types, so that they don't kind of wiggle woggle like that. One of the things that I want to do at some point, now that I know this is the case, is to actually go through, take these shelves off, take everything apart, and just put all the gray shelves at the bottom and the white shelves at the top. I think if I do that, because I have a set of tall white ones and another set in the closet, right? That would give me 2 shelves of white. And then I have 4 white, four white posts, 4 white posts, 4 white posts, 1 white shelf, 1 white shelf, 1 white shelf. So I literally can put all the white ones together and then maybe put the gray ones, you know, at least like put the gray ones up top or the gray ones at the bottom, the white ones up top, so they wouldn't be that bad. Although, frankly, I'm not really minding this. I really like it. Again, though, I'd like to figure out some options for lighting, you know, to see what I can do. I know there's some strip lighting that might work. I'm pretty close to my power source over here. So I think with a little bit of ingenuity, although those shelves are a little bit tight, so I don't know if I can do all of them, but we'll see. All right, and then, so here's some of those light strips. I don't want to use, I'm going to use these. These are not types that, they're very basic. You plug them in, you turn them on. That's it. So they don't change color. They're not app enabled. I have no remote, which I'm okay with, you know, because this is the kind of thing I want to put up and try to see if I can just do a little bit better lighting. Then we got these little beauties, okay? These guys are cloud car covers. So I picked these up on eBay because, well, you'll see why. So I do have a complete cloud car, but I also have one which very commonly is missing these items. So let me just, this is hard to do with one hand, but yeah, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me put this on a tripod. All right, let's try this again. Now this is not a, you know, but, oh, that worked easy. Be extra careful. Good. And just like that, we have a nice, complete cloud car. I need to find and see if I have an extra cloud car pilot somewhere around. Or 2, I should say. Another item I wanted to share. A gentleman by the name of Steve Evans. And you can look him up. Just do Star Wars Vintage Checklist Steve Evans. And you'll see, you can find his site, where he has created a checklist of all vintage collection figures. All right, and numerical with some extra, you know, caveats if there's a different thing to them, and even includes basically everything. You can see he has some here without the pictures because they haven't fully been released. They've only been either pipeline reveals or something like that. And you got the special groupings, deluxe figures, and then you got even play sets and vehicles. Okay, and that's good for me because I don't intend to collect all of these, but I do have quite a few, so I just want to kind of walk through these. So that's something else I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put, again, that'll be off camera, but you can see here they even have the Rebels. And it looks like they go right up to what was recently announced, the Ahsoka 4-pack. So, pretty cool. And this is actually following up on, oh, there's some more. All of these. I've gotten most of these 4-packs, but I have like left alone. I think I didn't do the 2 clone ones. And then we got our retro, which I love the way he did this. The retro collection. Collect all 84. I cannot believe that they already have 84 figures. Now, granted, you know, these are all retro, including Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, everything. So there's a lot of cool things in this collection. I love the retro collection, and I love that he created this. I almost want to blow this up to a poster just because it's so cool. So there's your nice checklist for that. So that's something else I'm going to be working on a little at a time. And then I've shown this on previous episodes of my droid factory. I have to go through, I've kind of isolated a handful of pieces from here that are missing from my set. Here, there's another cloud car in here. Now this had some lighting. Speaking of which, I have my little thing here, right? But I cannot get it to turn on. I don't know why. I think something shorted out with one of the cables. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you can kind of look down there at the bottom shelf of my little display case here, you can see there is another set there. And I want to go through that and see how complete it is. Kind of cross-check the two so I can get my set as complete as possible. I don't know if it'll be 100%, but it'll be good. Now, the only problem is this is a display case. You can see here, this is my basement, and you can see behind the display case, there's an oil tank. So it's kind of limited. I actually put this here specifically to kind of hide the oil tank. This is on wheels, although it's very small wheels, and it doesn't really move that well. But I am a little hesitant to rush at doing this because of two reasons. Number one, there is a sail barge with a lot of figures on top of this. So this is a thing like we did with this piece where we're going to have to take a table, set it up, and put everything out. That's a major ordeal. And I got some things going on this week and over the next few weeks. So this might be a future project, something that I'll do down the road. Okay, so I don't know if I'll get that done today. But these are just some of my weekend warrior projects that I'm excited about. And I look forward to sharing with all of you. Okay? God, I love that sail barge. Oh my God, it's so good. It's just so awesome. You know, and I loved, you know, I have taken enough figures out of the package from the Power of the Force, Power of the Jedi, you know, all the, Saga collection, OTC collection, that I have enough to kind of populate it pretty well. So I'm excited about that. And, but I also think that I want to kind of have some fun and maybe do some, like I have my skiffs over here, but you can see they kind of take up a little room. I have to move the sail barge almost a full foot off the shelf. I mean, it's still, the base is right at the edge. So I don't like that. I would rather have that centered. However, I might be able to pull this whole thing forward a bit, push that back a bit, and get some more, put the skiffs in the front, and maybe do it that way, and maybe put this off to the side. This is like one of those battle pack pieces. This is just a piece of like almost just very, very like very loose styrene, and then it's got a harder thing. Poor Boba Fett. Don't worry, buddy. You'll get out and become the new person running Tatooine. You wait and see. I also have a couple of mini rigs here that I don't know why. There seems to be room that I can put them in here. Although, yeah, this looks like there's, this is, if you look here closely, this is really, I just used some acrylic to extend. It's hard to see with the glare, but those shelving in the back. This is just a store display shelf. I like it. It protects my OTC, my original figures. And, well, not figures, really. These are figures that I've just kind of picked out over the years, found and begged from people, kids might, as a teacher, I will tell you, I've had actual students just hand me bags of figures from their parents. They say, oh, Mr. Bigalio likes to do, like Star Wars. He has a Darth Tuba channel. Give him this stuff. I'm like, okay, thanks. So I also, you can see down there, again, I'm so sorry for the glare. Let me see if I can, hang on a second. Yeah, this is a little bit better, although again, I get a little more glare. Back down there, you got Jabba's Dungeon, right? You got the Rebel Command Center, Imperial Attack Base, Turret and Probot playset. I put a few like a year or so ago, I kind of rearranged all this, but it looks like I can get a few more of these mini rigs. There's 1, 2, 3, there's like 5 of them. I know I can fit them if I'm a little bit more creative. I can fit them in here. Okay, so that's another project. Okay, upcoming things to look forward to. And again, as far as lighting this, I had strip lights, so maybe when I pull this out, I'll try examining the strip light, see if I can get it to work better. Maybe I'll pull it out and try a new set. Yeah, see, this is the other display cabinet, and most of this is actually not Kenner, it's actually Sigma. You can see up here that we have the salt and pepper shakers, we have a lot of the figurines. These are things that I like. I'm not like super duper in love with, so I may decide, not this year, but in a future year, I may decide to part with them. Got one of those Star Wars display, which I really like because of who I put in there. See if you can pick this out here. Hang on, let me get this. Doesn't want to turn on, I think, because I think it knows it's going to glare too much. But all right, we have Han Solo, small head. We have Princess Leia without her cape. We have Tusken Raider, Darth Vader, Death Squad Commander, and a Stormtrooper. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 old school figures that were meant to fit on here. And then we've got Lobot, Death Star Gunner, Imperial Officer, General Veers, 8D8, and Boba Fett. Gotta love it. That's all right, because we have another display over here with even more random characters. In fact, I think a lot of them might be characters. Some of them might have come from... I have two 8D8s. I definitely got to get one of them out and take care of... maybe put them in another display. But I like having them all kind of loose. Down here, we got a couple of figures that fell. Also another thing I got to get into these cases and fix. Yeah, here's the Darth Vader Star Destroyer, the Land of the Jawas playset. These are not... oh, and there's this machine. I forget which vehicle this is from the Droids line. I just couldn't fit them in that other case, you know. But all these ceramics take up so much room that I don't dare try to put too much more in there. And I really like... Or there's Slave 1 down there. So my vintage collection, it's protected. The only downside is that these are not the best. Like, you know, I used to have a shelf, a case where I could slide open the front, and that was so nice. Because this one is up against the wall. I have to roll it out, and it's always dangerous. I'm like, I was saying to myself, oh my goodness, are the shelving units going to hold? I mean, it's crazy. So who knows? We shall see. And up here is what I'm thinking about, like starting in that back corner, putting in some strip light just to kind of give a little more light to the back corner here. You know, just run it up here, kind of connect it over to here, run it back, or maybe back up here. You know, I got all these models. These are models that I worked on. I mean, they're not. First of all, okay. Oh, not this guy. What is he doing there? He's not a model. This is Luke's Skyhopper. Can't put that there. I'm gonna leave that here now. See, this is what's nice about going through this and finding, you know, taking things and saying, okay, I'm going to put them out in the cell pile. Now I have more room, and I have room to move things around, and I like that. I love that. You know, I want so badly to, you know, just be able to do that. And there is one vintage one and by the way, the cloud car will probably go right back over here. So, you know, as I said, there's a lot of hodgepodge to my collection, and I'm trying to organize it. I'm trying to be a little bit more... just some rhyme or reason to it, okay? I still love this stuff. This is like now my favorite corner, okay? And you know, I know those guys in the back, you know, they're in this box. Some of these box things don't kind of fit, but I do like that they're kind of themed in the right place. So I kind of am okay with that. But I also do think that you know, there may be things I part with. I actually already parted with a Qui-Gon and an Eopie. So, you know, that might be my only one. So for now, I'm going to hold on to them. You know, we'll see if I'm going to part with anything, it's going to be with some of these Clone Wars vehicles that maybe don't have as much of a I don't have as much of a connection to. Not now though. We got a little bit of time. We got some time to, like the Rebels vehicle. We'll see when the Ghost arrives, if that thing kind of fits in there or whatever, if they've thought of that. So, and then we got all these, the Jacks, I forget. These bigger figures. I mean, they're fun. I like them. But again, it's just, there comes a point where there's only so much room, you know? So, we shall see. So for today, I can take my one cloud car. I'm actually going to just put this right here on this little table right there. And a little bit of an empty spot. Okay, as I said, you know, so many things have been taken down to be cleared out. I can now move some things around. This is one I like. This is the last thing I'll show you. I love my little ET character. Sadly, he had a battery, but I don't believe he's he had a thing where you can actually, I don't know what it is. I forget how it worked, but something was supposed to happen where his head pops up and he'd be glued or whatever. I'm gonna put him over here in the Jedi Council. Why? Because E.T. is part of Star Wars, and I believe he's a freaking Jedi, and he belongs in the Jedi Council, so I'll put him back here. He's a little bigger than Qui-Gon. That's a big E.T. But then again, when they showed I'm sure anybody watching this channel will know that when they had a scene in the Senate in Coruscant where they were voting, where Queen Amidala calls for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum, you heard they showed all these different pods and the representatives from the different worlds are going, vote now. And there was a pod of ET characters, that species, and they were there. And it's hard to know for sure how big they were. So since we never got one of those characters, I'm going with that one for now. That's the only one I could find so far, even though he towers over Qui-Gon. But it'll be a cool thing. So anyway, so those are my plans. I'm hoping to get. I'll document some of them. This is one, the only thing the only problem with the tape, this kind of tape light, is that it's so dry in there that the tape light doesn't always last. So we'll see. But, oh, and I also did laundry. These are all Star Wars shirts that I'm looking to unload to sell in my next sale. They're mostly XL, some large. These are some crossovers from the Haunted Mansion, so there's a bunch of them there. Yeah, so I'm real excited to, just to keep tinkering. I've been really enjoying. Oh, I had to point out one other thing. And then I'm going to wrap this up for today. I want to point out, there's a couple of different Luke's figures there, but I want to point out the X-Wing Luke, the Stormtrooper, and the R2-D2, and to note that there are 2 of each, right? That is because when I went to that toy show a few videos ago, and I saw some loose figures, I was gravitated towards the X-Wing fighter, Luke X-Wing, Stormtrooper, and R2-D2, which means I actually bought 2 of each. Now I own 2, okay? But I also got a Rebel Trooper, and I found a Chewbacca kind of loosely hanging out in one of the other parts of the collection. So just a fun thing. So and as I said, I have a lot of work to do. Got my checklist here. I got to go through these parts. And again, to do that, I have to move this, this monstrosity, right? So it's going to be a little tricky, but it's okay. Nice and neat, much cleaner. And got although it's kind of hard to see, I got my display, my thing all kind of complete. I think all pieces there. The only thing I'm missing is about 10 of those connector pins. But beyond that, it's pretty good. So now I will say this had some strip lighting in it. While I was in there, I tore it out. It just isn't working. I will try again with another type. I do want to point out another thing. As you can see here, we are in much better shape. We got some strip lighting up here, and it's working beautifully. Oh my God, it's so much better to see. Easy to see, doesn't take up a lot of wattage. So yeah, I may pick up, whoops, that's the only problem. I bump into these things and the looseness just gets it all. But you see, now I'm really happy with the way this looks, okay? And I'm really happy with the way this looks. I can see it better. Okay, probably want to, I know that some of that lighting probably should be pointing down, but I get the light, I get the idea. Sadly, I can't really do it here, at least not on top. As you can see, I have just some basically foam board. And that's really because, and this is just like, the reality of it being in an old house. If you look beyond that, that is basically it's the plumbing where the sewage goes. I mean, it doesn't stop there, it goes throughout, and there is with any kind of, you can see up top, there's a little bit of discoloration. There's just some stuff that happens where I noticed that my toys were getting damaged. I was getting like stuff on them. There's just very, very subtle, maybe a leak, maybe condensation, any number of things. So I put those boards up, or the foam board, just to catch it. It's as a faux ceiling, but I don't want to put lights on them. Although I might see about putting them on the sides, just to give us a little bit more light. So that was really cool. So I'm a big fan of strip lighting now. It just totally lights up the space so much better, and I look forward to doing that. Okay. Whew. So I hope you stayed around to the end because you got to see a lot more got done than I originally planned to do. But as you can see, we have a shelf here. Just so everyone's clear, this is at the corner of my house, and there is some moisture that seeps through from time to time, not a lot, but over 20 years, it was enough that you'll see that I wasn't even able to reach back here to drywall it, you know, put like the special primer, a Kills or whatever kind of paint primer that is supposed to be water protection. I did do it in other places, but I wasn't able to do it there. So there is some moments where, you know, I had the shelf and I went, oh, this is great, I can put stuff on the shelf. Well, two things happened. This tank went in and that kind of blocked everything over there. And two, there was some moisture on the back end of this shelf. Now, so these two got a little damage in the back. This one, not so much. That one was pretty good. But anyway, I decided to kind of get stuff away from over there, pull it in this way. I don't know what I'm going to do with that spot. I might put something there. You know, I put my two collector's cases here. I'm thinking about moving this one down, and then maybe I have Sleepio up there. Maybe I'll put that up there. Maybe I have a couple other thoughts about what to do. I just don't want to put anything, trying to get the paper stuff away, at least from that corner. So, but you can see I did the same thing with this shelf. I bought two of them, and I did some cutting back on the, you know, nothing on the bottom shelf right now. And I also have it kind of sitting on top of some, I got these little crates from Walmart, Starlight crates. They're like $1.50, $1.60, or I think they've gone up to like $1.70 now. But these are great for just holding the weight of, you know, moderately weighted stuff, not too heavy, but, you know, moderately weighted stuff. And I decided to put that whole shelf on top of that right out of the gate in the event of flooding. Although, honestly, if there's flooding, this room doesn't really get much. The flooding comes in from way over there. So unless, you know, I'm out, I'm not around, and it's a deluge lasting, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, that would be, and even then, you know, there are some ways for the water to escape, but it would pretty much only go up an inch here at the most. So, but nonetheless, better safe than sorry. So I'll find something to put down there. All right, so we got our nice newly lit corner over here. I got some more of this strip light, a different type. This is just standard strip light, which by the way works very well. But there's no remote to it. You plug it in, you turn it on an old-fashioned switch, and it just turns on. I like that, to be honest with you. I almost prefer it because, you know, I have this one with the remote, but every time you turn it on, it does this kind of weird flashy disco thing, and I don't like that. So I want to, you know, kind of keep it there, keep it steady. So anyway, so we have, you know, like I said, there's you know, the room will never be complete. So I hope you guys enjoy the ever long process of trying to figure out ways to improve it and to kind of put it, you know, theme it a little bit better. We still have a lot of things out of you know, whack here that I'd like to work on. So I'm going to continue doing that, but I'm just really proud of this. My nice, neat Java sail barge on top with the skiffs and the sarlacc, and I even have my little, like I told you, my little mini rig from the 80s, my mini skiff out to do that. And all the other stuff here, I'll figure out some other options. Maybe that strip lighting that I got will work here too. All right, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Check out all the other videos. Check out all the other content on Red 5. Thank you, Red 5, for supporting the channel. We'll see you in the next video. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.